Hey guys, welcome to the show. Today, if you haven't heard already, there's a new quantization algorithm coming out and it's called TurboQuantus, and it's from the people from New York University and Google, and they have come up with a technique which is going to smash the ability for us to run full models at a quantized version, but it's going to be like 100% precision or 99 point whatever it is. So I've already gone on the hero's journey on the story, or whatever that journey is called. You know, when you get really excited about something and then like I'm at the stage of disillusionment at the moment, but I'm going to go through, I'm going to show you it running live. I'm going to show you all the different implementations if you want to play along at home, and I'll also show you the results that I have got. And you will see for yourself if there is amazingness in this. Now, there's already some controversy inside this technique. If you go into the feedback forums, basically, if you look at their paper, they had a little diss about Rabbit Q. I love the naming of this situation. They had a diss with these guys, and then Rabbit Q came along and they said, actually, you guys were asking us on how to implement our source code, and you didn't give us credit. So it says, TurboQuant describes Rabbit Q guarantees a suboptimal, academic diss. Majid's January 2025 emails show that he had transferred our C++ implementation into Python and asked us to help debug it. So there's a bit of a cat fight going on here, but nonetheless, let's just check out the technique for itself. So it's a 2-pass situation, and it works with like 4 bits and less. They go down to 2 bits, which is amazing if it works. And they use one of the bits to do quantized JL. JL is, I never remember his name, Johnson Lindestrass. They quantize that. That's one of the bits goes there. And the other bits that you give it, either 1 bit, 2 bit, or 3 bits, goes to MSE optimal quantizers. And if you do want to play along, actually, if you go into MLXLM, you go into pull requests over here, there is actually 2 implementations of this. So there's add TurboQuant and add TurboQuant KV. And there's also a third one. If you go to VLM, MLX VLM, there's a third one there. I tried them all out. Now, these implementations, both of them, they only do the first pass, but don't worry, we've also done the 2-pass situation. We're going to show you all that, all working. This one here, experimental, this one is the slow version. It does it all on the CPU, but it's Pythonic code, so it's easy to follow along to find out exactly what's going on. This version here, this one starts to put it in the shaders, the metal shaders, except it actually uses more memory than it claims to, because it actually stores the full float 16 results in the memory as well. So you're not actually saving in the memory, but it's still good to follow along because you can actually see the pipeline between quantizing and quantizing and then dequantizing and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to play along, you can check out the pull requests here as well. And also, I've got it implemented into inference over here. I will show you all the different results and everything. So if you go into the settings tab, and in model, context precision. So you got the normal 16-bit, which is unquantized. You got 9-bit, that's near lossless. I'll show you exactly what that means. And it goes down to all the way to 3.5-bit. And then we got the 4-bit turbo, 3-bit turbo, and 2-bit turbo, and you can choose a different quantization level. So the first thing I'll do, since I've ran all the experiments here, I will show you the first version here. So we're producing 1,000 tokens. So I did an interesting test. I didn't just blindly say, write some code or produce 100 tokens or anything like that. I actually gave it a full-on chunky piece of source code that's already been previously generated because I wanted to fill up its context window, and I asked it to make a change, asking it to add a spaceship in a third-person perspective. So it's got to manage that context window, quantize it down, and hopefully we'll get some good needle and haystacks. Hopefully we'll get the right functions. We're going to see what happens there. So if you run it with 1,000 tokens unquantized, we're getting a requirement of 1.92 gibs of memory andios. When we quantize it with 9 bits, 9-bit precisions, we half that memory to around 1.1 gibs. When you quantize it down to 4.5 bits, we're now at 0.5 gibs. And in comparison, when you quantize it down to 4-bit turbo, it actually uses slightly less, 0.51. You can actually even make it use less, but I wanted to keep the precision, so I kept my floats at float 32. You can actually make it float 16s, and there's also some int 8s you can utilize in there if you want to play along at home. But so yeah, you got better memory savings than the 4.5-bit quant, and you can even go down further. You can go to 3.5 bits, and that's 0.4 gibs. And if you can go to 3-bit turbo, and that's 0.4, so still slightly less. And you can even go down to 2-bit turbos. But what I want to show you, like, it produces code nonetheless. But let's just see what it actually looks like, the code that gets produced. So if we run it full precision over here, we got the Earth still coherent. We now got a spaceship over here. We got an asteroid impact, and it creates a ring in a random location. I'm running Minimax over here in this example. When I do enter the spaceship, however, this is the full precision, it gives me some baffling controls. So it's first person and not third person. So this stuff happens just based on the random token selection. So just random stuff can happen depending on the model that you choose, but at least you got an idea of what the full version looks like. When we do 9-bit precision, now you got the Earth. It's still, you can still see the Earth. And if you want to get some context on these demonstrations, I actually ran these tests with context precision earlier in a video, so you can check it out and find out the loss and all that stuff, how we got to this stage. So this is kind of like a part 2 using the TurboQuant situation. So 9-bit is cool over here, but look at that. We got a nice spaceship. We can fly around. So it's still got good context. We're going to go in and show you the actual fidelity and exactly the complexity towards the end of this video, but let me just show you the real life results that you're going to get. So that's 9-bit. 8.5, you still get good results. Triggering asteroid still works, although I don't know what happened there. Boom, we still get the ring, exact same situation. 6.5, again, it still works, except look at the spaceship, slightly different, but that could just be just randomness. 5.5, still good. 4.5 is still good. And then when we get down to 3.5 bits, that's when we start to run into runtime errors and it kind of like breaks away. So switching over to the 4-bit TurboQuant. So again, you got the beautiful Earth, so it hasn't lost that fidelity. And we can enter the flight, and to looking at this is just a beautiful spaceship. I gotta say, it's a very, very nice looking spaceship. Like you can see the shadows, the lighting on it. It looks very beautiful, the spaceship. So I gotta say, this looks really, really good. 4-bit TurboQuant. 3-bit TurboQuant, you've now lost context on the actual Earth. So previously when we did 3.5, we started to get in runtime errors. Here, we actually did get compile errors, so it couldn't compile the metal shader, and we lost context on the Earth. So there is a technique that I also threw in there, and it's also written in a paper, and it's mixed precision quantization. And what they do is, depending on the precision required for the layer, they increase the quantization or decrease the quantization. So I just did a very, very basic one where I think the first 2 layers and the last 2 layers, they're deemed the most important, especially when you go into quantization, all that stuff. I kept that always at 4-bit fidelity. And when I do that with just the standard 3.5 bits, the affine quantization, again, we still don't have the Earth and it's still getting a runtime error. However, with 3-bit turbo quanting, this is just the 1-pass solution at the moment. We now have the Earth and we now got a spaceship, and look, we can fly around in the spaceship. So we've definitely, unless we got lucky, well, you can see the results for itself. We definitely did get some improvement, okay? And when it comes to 2-bit precision, we completely fail and it's completely awful. So that is the situation as it is. Now, I'm going to show you it running in case you're a bit unsure of what is the situation. Our 4-bit turbo, I'm just going to run that. So you can see here that it's producing tokens. It's going around 13 tokens a second. Now this is a big context window, around 8,000 tokens. And this version can be sped up. So right now we're dequantizing it, every single layer to be passed into the normal dot product. Now we can fuse that into a metal shader and make it run faster, but that is the situation as it is today. And if we go into the token inspector, so let's just get a bit of entropy here. We can see that constructed from the original version here, the fully unquantized version, we can see that here is the updated code with controllable spaceship. Here is the updated code with controllable spaceship. I have added a spaceship model constructed from geometries. So instead of it going for geometries, that was the top token you can see here, originally with the unquantized version with 41% going to there. We can see that when we did the 4-bit quantization, geometries now isn't the top token anymore. It's now the second top token at 32%, whereas previously it's 41%, and geometric, that one is now 41. So they've kind of like swapped over there just due to that precision loss situation. So you can see these kind of errors, and it also depends on, you know, the seed as well. Although I am running this greedy with temperature set to 0 to try making it as precise and reproducible as possible. But you can see that it starts to drift. So you can see the controls is one of the top lines here, whereas HTML, it says doc type is at the top there. So it starts writing the code when it has that full precision, but at Turbo 4, that's when you start getting differences. So to find out exactly what's going on, it's tracking the precision loss in between the quantized version versus the full precision one. So I have a custom version where I'm monitoring the situation. And with 16-bit, there is no loss whatsoever. So it's 100% and 0, 0. With 9 bits, so this is the highest 8-bit you can get with group sizes of 32. Again, we have the exact same cosine similarity, and the mean absolute error is 0.09. So that's very, very, very low. When we go down to 4.5-bit, the mean absolute error is 0.15. So that's pretty high compared to 0.009. And we see in the results very, very similar. Now, when it comes to 4-bit turbo, this is just using the first pass, the MSE pass, we actually get a lower mean absolute error than the 4.5-bit, but it is still higher than 5.5-bit. So it says it's like a near lossless quantization. If you're looking at the actual fidelity, the bits, the actual values inside the cache, you can see that it's not as lossless as you can imagine. Like 9-bit is 0.09. Here, 4-bit turbo is 0.12. And with 3-bit, that's 0.23. So that's insanely high. And at 2-bit, it's just 0.5. That's just a massive, massive variance of the situation. But again, this measures the actual fidelity, what is in actual bits and the deviation between the bits. So we did one better. We looked at the actual perplexity of the end results. You know, so when I was showing you over here that the top token changed. So the top token is now geometric instead of it being geometries. So that's the measurement of perplexity. That's what measures the confidence levels of the top token. And these are the results we got with 500 tokens. So with the full one, you get a perplexity of 0.07, and top token accuracy produces the exact same tokens as it would, because, you know, we got the greedy, we got the temperature set to 0 and the seed set to 0. So it's all perfect. With 9-bit quantization on the context, again, in top token accuracy of 99.6%, a very, very high. We only missed 2 tokens. So we only missed 2 tokens. The divergence was very, very low. With traditional 4-bit quantization, affine quantization, perplexity is now 1.117, so it's gone higher, and we've dropped to 97.2 top token accuracy. So only, was it 14 of the tokens at the 500 tokens were the wrong ones picked, but when the wrong ones were picked, they diverted by 30%. Now, when it comes to 4-bit turbo, with the one pass with MSE, I was getting perplexity pretty much, well, slightly lower than the 4-bit affine quantization, so slightly lower. So this is 1.1178, and this is 1.1171. Now, the model I'm running here is Llama 1B, because it runs really fast. I can get some results and I have to wait forever. Maybe on a different model, it might run better, but I'm just showing you what I got. Now, I also modified it to actually include the second pass, the quantized Johnson Linderstrasse. I love that name. It's very, very good. Now, the problem with that one is, rather than like giving the 4 bits to the MSE to get the highest precision, you actually give one of the bits, you sacrifice it over for a second quantization at 1 bit. And that's how they have error corrected and got their amazing results. But when I did that, the perplexity shot up to 1.5 and the top token accuracy went to 88.2. So it's worse. It was worse for me. If anyone's interested, I can share the code that I'm running. But again, I've already showed you the root code if you want to check it out. So there's 3 versions you can look at, already open source. And yeah, so we'll see what happens when it comes to 3 bits. And this version is actually using the misposition that we talked about, where the first 2 and the last 2 are at 4 bits, because that's the only one that actually yielded some results when we ran it. So this one, you know, 95% token accuracy. So that's good with the 1 pass. And that is higher than the 2 pass, but it's still lower than the 1 pass 4-bit. And it's still lower than the traditional affine quantization of 4 bits. And with 2 passes, the perplexity just shoots up to 15.38. So I'm hoping that, like, I'm currently at the bottom of the hill here. I've been battling this for 2 days, just doing all sorts of experiments, just trying to get this nailed. And that's where I am. Let me know what you guys are finding with this quantization technique, because yeah, I don't know how they're getting their results. In their results, just look at here, the full precision scores at 99.7%, and they score at 99.7%. And they say all of the other ones are rubbish, and their one is the best. It is lossless, the same score. And they're also running Llama 3.1 A to B. That's in the needle haystack test. So Their results are spectacular. But all that being said, just remember that this generation that we made here with the 4-bit TurboQuant, let's just get it there. Look, the asteroid still worked. So it is exciting times over there, and it's going to be really fun to see what other quantization techniques happen and a little bit more information about maybe the model that they use. This is Minimax and Llama 1. That's ones I tried out with. Let me know what models you guys have tried at home. And if you guys remember, if you want to play along, check out, this is MLX LM. You got 2 versions over here. Pythonic one, very, very easy to follow, and a TurboQuant, that one over here, but it uses more memory, but you can still follow along, so it's very, very good. That is the first pass. And there's also, if you go to MLX VLM, that's made by this genius kid called Prince Blasi. He's awesome, and he's also got a version for it you can check out. I tried it out, it didn't really work too well, so let me know. Is TurboQuant going to be the hero of quantization? What I do actually love about this, I'm going to say it, looking at their paper, I'm looking forward to trying out the other methods as well to find out exactly what's going on. So that's really cool. Let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys found this video useful and enjoyed the show.